Hi everyone, my name is Chris Martin. Welcome to Keto with me. It is day 30 on my journey back into keto. If you're new to my channel, check out my day 0 video where I cover the reasons why I created this video series. Alright, let's roll the clip. Okay, that was my day 30 clip. Made it to day 30 days. Made it to day 30. Wow. I can't tell you how excited I am, and I've got some pretty cool news too. So let's just start with the numbers first. My carbs were 6.6 yesterday. I had another long fast, and then some like Angus steak burgers for dinner. So that was pretty good. My blood glucose was 89. My ketones are 2.4. So those numbers are both looking really good. I have a Dr. Boz ratio of 37, so I'm under that 40 number, so that's really good. I'm excited about that. The GKI, again, I'm just kind of putting that along with it, 2.1. I think that's a good number as well. Here's the good news. I know I'm not focused like just on the weight, but I did lose, wait for it, 2 pounds. I can't even believe it. I got on and off the scale like 3 times just to double check because I stepped on, I was like, yeah, that's not right. Stepped off, stepped on, stepped off, stepped on. Then I tried the mechanical one back here that I have, too, and it was like, it's a little off. So it was like within like a pound. So I was just really tickled. So that gives me a grand total of 21.4 in 30 days. Super tickled about that. My macro percentages were 72% fat, 6% carb, and 26% protein. So those are right where I need them to be. So I think for the 30 days, just a quick, just a super quick recap on things that improved. I've got I consider it to be a pretty significant weight loss. My sleep has improved dramatically. My energy is probably one of the things that is the most improved because I can just now go all day long without like feeling just so it just feels really good to have that energy there. Mental clarity is there too. I'm no longer like, what am I trying to say? So I'm really tickled about that. Just kind of, I really have no appetite. I eat when I want to eat, and when I do go to eat, I'm pretty much, I don't feel the need to just like eat as much as I can and have to finish the plate. There's times when I can actually put stuff back, which makes me feel really good. Seeing what else is on there. Oh, inflammation, probably one of the biggest things. Just again, like the little arthritis thing I mentioned, just overall inflammation, just in general. So it is very, 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 very exciting. So, and then also too, I'm releasing after today, so I'm tickled about that. So I can actually get this out in the wild. So that's it for my day 30 daily recap. I can't think of anything else on the video that was significant to mention because I'm kind of in that mode right now where I'm doing almost the same thing every day. Then at some point that's going to change. So, all right, let's get on to my goals. Let's talk about my day 30 goals. Well, it's actually week 5 goals, and it's the second day of week 5, and we're on day 30. So right off the get-go, you'll see that sleep was improved from the crazy one that I had the other day. So I've got 7 hours, 0 up. So I've landed in the better category on that. I feel pretty good, very excited about that. Moving on to eating keto. Eating keto and then fasting specifically. So I had a 23-hour and 30-minute fast. So beast mode on that. Feeling really good about where my fasts are at right now. And then my style, dirty clean. I'm eating at home again. I'm making pretty good choices with my foods. Trying to pick the best, best quality I can. And not relying as much on like packaged foods or anything like that. So I did move myself up one on that to better. So on to the macros. As far as carbs go, I'm 6.6. That was really good. So my carbs are staying down where I want them to be. And then my macro percentages were pretty close to the ideal range. I think 72, 6, and 26 is pretty close to 75, 5, and 20. So I'm tickled about that. Woohoo! Learning, watched another video that I want to share today. Pretty cool. Interesting topic. May or may not be relevant to you, but you'll see when we get to it. Tracking, got my good old tracking guide here. Very excited to see, day 30 on there and beyond. So moving on to meditation, had 2 5-minute meditations, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So doing good on that. I just realized I never really moved that like down the scale. So I probably by the end of the week should be at beast mode on that, but it's probably because of the, I don't know. I just keep forgetting to do it. All right, and exercise. Currently no exercise, though I've been pondering with this extra energy and just stuff. I've been thinking about at least doing like one video from the P90X3 series, like maybe start out with the yoga or something like that. That way I can build a little bit of core strength, but also just kind of start moving in that direction. Any one of us can be a little bit more limber, especially when you're, 53 like me. So that's it for the week 5 goals. Wow, week 5 already there. So let's get on to the video recommendation. Okay, let's talk about day 30 video recommendation. This is another Dr. Boz video. It's 9 minutes and 2 seconds long. This one's a little bit personal to me, not because I experienced it myself, but because my I think I told you guys I have an identical twin brother. He went through this. So it has to do with gallbladders. So this past, actually it wasn't even 5 months ago, he had really bad pain. So bad that he had ended up going to the going to the ER about it, and of course they're like, oh yeah, you've got some kidney stones. They put him over to a specialist. That specialist said, hey, you got these kidney stones, we should take it out. And he's like, okay. So then they gave him like a couple dates to pick from. One was like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, from whatever the date was, and then the other one was like 6 or 8 weeks out. And he was like, so he was talking to me about it, and we were we were discussing it, and he was just like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I should do it because I got a trip coming up and so forth. Maybe I should do it like earlier the better. And I said, yeah, I might as well just get it out of the way. So it's a good thing he did that, because when he went in, when they opened him up, his gallbladder was gangrene. I mean, it was dead. Like, they were just so surprised that he wasn't even in more massive amount of pain than he was. But, anyway, it was very, very lucky that he went in like when he did and got it taken care of and all that. So, but to the point of, today's topic. So I think I told you guys he's much lighter than me. I always joke and say he's the after picture, because he's always around like 170, 175 or somewhere in that range. And if he gets too far up, he just gets himself back down relatively quickly. And he's always been a huge fan of carb cycling, not necessarily anything keto, because he was one of those guys that kind of said I do keto. No, you weren't doing keto, but he said he was, but then, when he started watching, because I gave him, access to the channel ahead of time before launch, he started watching some of the videos, and he was just like, yeah, I'm not really doing keto like you're supposed to be doing keto, at least as far as like increasing the fats and all this other stuff. So then, you know, he tried increasing the fats and had a lot of issue with it right off the get-go. So I said, well, hold on a minute. So, you know, I immediately go and I, you know, watch 3 or 4 videos, and I find one, you know, by Dr. Kinberry, Dr. you know, Boz, and a few other folks and stuff. And every one of them are like, yeah, you can do keto with with no gallbladder. So that's why I brought this up today, to talk about, like, you know, what do you do if you have no gallbladder? Because, you know, fat is like the primary job of the gallbladder. I mean, your liver makes the bile, your gallbladder stores it, and then when you eat fat, boom, you know, it secretes it and stuff. So let's get to the video, and then I'll kind of intertwine back to what my, you know, how it affected my brother and how he's doing now with it, which is actually really good. So first comment about the video, this is one of those ones from like 4 or 5 years ago, and Dr. Boz looks like she's 10 years older than she is today. I mentioned this before. It just blows my mind. You can see the benefits of keto just looking at her. She brings up in the video the reason that a lot of people have issues, you know, with going on a high-fat diet, you know, or high-fat ketogenic diet, is because the gallbladder's primary job, you know, is to process, you know, help process fat. Well, we've been taught forever low fat, low fat, low fat. So if you've been eating low fat for a very long time, and then suddenly you just open up the gates, you know, your gallbladder just kind of says WTF, you know, like, what are you doing? You know, and in some cases you might have stones built up because non-movement and all this other stuff. You know, they always say that it was caused by something else, but she does a good job of explaining what really causes, you know, what causes you to have kidney stones and stuff like that. She has a case study where she talks about a patient that, you know, she has, and kind of exactly what happens and how they work through it. And she talks about patients that have no gallbladder. She even brings up a short discussion on autophagy, which, you know, I told you we were going to probably do just a, you know, video recommendation on that at some point. But the point being is that she said that your body can process, you know, fat, and you can get to where you're processing, you know, higher amounts of fats, and it's not like you can't do it like in one day, you can't do it in 2 days. It takes time, because your liver is what actually produces the bile. It just now has to be kind of like told that, hey, I'm going to be doing this more often, and, you know, getting used to it. I can say now that my brother is doing keto pretty darn good, and he's increased his fats. You know, he had exactly the symptoms that she talked about. You know, when he first started trying to do more fat, you know, he would end up with cramping, he'd end up with diarrhea. And he's probably like, why are you telling these people this? But, you know, but now he can actually eat, you know, quite a bit, you know, of fat without having really any issues at all. So he's gotten his body to where it needs to be. So my point about this video is that if you're someone who doesn't have a gallbladder, there is hope, you know, and, you know, if you're someone that, you know, has had gallbladder stones before, you know, this looks like an opportunity to help, you know, get through that and so forth, or even just issues. I mean, you know, I was worried there for a while that I was going to end up being just like him, because I think both my sisters and my brother all had their gallbladder removed. So I hope you find the video useful. She does, again, a very good job of explaining it. So, and that's it for my video recommendation. All right, that's it for day 30, folks. Thanks for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe so you can keto with me. As always, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Just remember, none of us are perfect. Please be a coach, not a critic, and take care.